My good people, message of the day for episode number 32 comes from you, the great philosopher who is still alive and kicking. And honestly speaking, his words, if it's like Jesus and him, as far as how much of a great, okay, let me stop the bullshit. The message is coming from me. It's coming from your boy, Mark, and it's about adult relationships. Listen, every so often, I meet up with a group of guys that I grew up with. I ain't going to mention their names, but I meet up with them every so often, and we sit down, we break bread, we talk about life, what's going on in our lives now as middle-aged men. Because as much as we hate to admit it, we are literally middle-aged men. So we link up and we talk, and I really look forward to these meetings, man. I make sure I pull it in the calendar so I don't double book anything. I make sure I have proper coverage for the young one, and I go meet up and I go talk ish with my guys. Sometimes we talk about the past, childhood, growing up, and funny stories, but I gotta be honest with you, that's like 10% of the time. 90% of the time, we just, talking about what's going on now, sports, it's just a good vibe. And like I said, I always look forward, to these meetings. Now, why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because I knew it, but I just want to publicly say it. I realized that these men, these brothers that I meet up with, they're family to me. They're my family. These are not friends. These are not acquaintances. These are legit family. And these men are men that I grew up with since I was in junior high school. We literally went from boys to men. Now, there's always some sort of setback or a little blow to the brotherhood, like I like to say, because anything involving human beings is gonna have something. But I feel like we endured the hardships and the growing pains of a brotherhood. Now, despite us not being blood, like I just said, we are family. And sometimes, despite people being your blood, it doesn't necessarily make them family. So what's family? In my opinion, family will always support you. Family will encourage you and never put you down. Family will call you out on your bullshit, though, when needed to, but they won't highlight them. Family is always there. Family always have your back. And here's the crazy thing. I've known people that have met people like that in their lives, and they only met them 5 years ago. So you don't have to be childhood friends like me in the particular group of men that I'm talking about. I'm just blessed and lucky that these are men we've all seen each other through different phases of our life. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say this. If you have people like that in your life, cherish them, hold on to them, nurture that relationship. Because as we can see, the world is going crazy. Everyone seems to be at odds with each other. But your circle, who you choose to call family, who you choose to surround you. Because as we get older, you start to notice the people that are toxic in your life, they start to fall off. Even if they blame you for the fall off, it's cool. Hey, sometimes you need that because maybe you wouldn't have been, brave or had enough courage to cut said people off, and that's cool. But if you have the people in your life that, like I do, that I'm talking about, family, you keep them and you cherish that, because I promise you, those are the people that's going to step up and be there for you when you need them the most. And with that out the way, my people, let's get into episode 32. We got so much to talk about. My good people, welcome back to another episode of Don't Kill the Message podcast. As always, it's your boy Mark coming to you in front of that damn iPhone in the living room on a day off. Well, I took the day off. I don't know if it was in the books, but whatever. How's everybody feeling, man? Hope everyone's feeling good. I hope everyone is blessed. Hope everyone is happy, healthy, working out, being mentally strong, being physically strong. And if not, that's okay. If today ain't your day, tomorrow's going to be that day. All that positive shit that I be telling you that I believe in, it's all going to be all right, my people. I promise you it's all going to be all right. Not going to waste time. Let's get into it, because I want to talk about something so bad that I just had the podcast and do a little segment about it. Now, oh, by the way, you guys like my Ninja Turtle cup? Let me tell you something about going into like stores like Marshall's or TJ Maxx. Yo, you can never leave out with the thing you wanted to go in with. Like, it never works that way, bro. I literally went in there just to get some more gym shirts, and I seen this cool ass Ninja Turtle mug, and I was like, okay, bro, if this shit is under $6, I'm getting it. And sure enough, it was $3.99, and I was like, there's no way in hell I'm not walking out with it. So I got a new mug. I'm feeling good. Speaking of cartoons, I want to talk about the X-Men 97 series. Now, if you're a geek like me, if you're geeking out on the new X-Men animated series that Disney just dropped, maybe I want to say maybe a month and a half ago, because we're 7 episodes in and a new episode drops every Wednesday, you understand how good this show is. Listen, I don't watch a lot of TV, so I'm not sure what show out there is popping, but it would be hard pressed to find, whether the shit is animated or not, a better series on television right now than X-Men 97. It's just the best show on television right now. Now, for all of us that do know that X-Men 97, the one that just dropped on Disney, is a revisit of the X-Men cartoon series, the popular X-Men cartoon series from the 90s. So they brought it back. Now, I'm a 90s geek, so that was right in my alley. I ain't gonna lie to you though. I was a little afraid when I heard Disney was doing it. I'm gonna just keep it real. I thought, Disney's a little wokey woke, man. It just is what it is. And I was like, oh, I don't know, bro. I hope these ninjas don't make Wolverine gay. No, Wolverine is still a heterosexual, grumpy. We're going to get into Wolverine and my thoughts on Wolverine. But Wolverine is still Wolverine, and he is the same exact character as he was in the 90s. So it is good, I'm telling you. So there's 7 episodes in. I'm telling you, I've just been nerding out. I can't wait every Wednesday. Sometimes I just wait sometimes I let 2 weeks pass so I could just knock out 2 episodes. I've watched each episode like 3 times each. I'm telling you, episode 5 of the X-Men 97 series. It's the greatest animated 30-minute show of all time. Yo, I'll fight with anybody about that.
There, Eric! You hear me?
He's trying to protect us, Rose!
Hab keine Angst.
Omega threat eliminated.
So, but I'm an adult now, and there's certain things that I'm taking away from these series that I probably wouldn't have had if I was 18 or 19 years old. So, what have I taken away from the new X-Men 97 series as a full functional grown-ass man? 3 things, 3 quick deep dives. I got into my nerd bag, and I was like, yo, I'll write all this shit down. Start with number 1, and that is Wolverine. Logan himself. Yes, Wolverine. To me, when I was watching this show back in the day, Wolverine was the coolest superhero of all. That man had 3 knife-like claws that came out from each palm. He was damn near a superhero as Freddy Krueger, just didn't give you nightmares. Well, maybe he gave the villains nightmares, but you understand what I'm saying. Wolverine was the ish. I rooted for Wolverine. I identified with Wolverine. Wolverine. He didn't like the leader Cyclops. Like the co-leader Cyclops at the time. He was always feuding with him. However, as a 48-year-old man, I can tell you this. Wolverine is a complete asshole. Wolverine is a complete unadulterated asshole. Yo, bro, there's literally nothing likable about Wolverine. To the point, I can tell you right now, at my age, I would not want to hang around Wolverine, bro. Wolverine is toxic. He's a problem. Here's why. Mind you, when I was younger, he was the coolest X-Men out. Wolverine is moody as hell. Wolverine needs therapy. Wolverine got some unresolved childhood issues. Now, if you're a comic book geek, you know the backstory about Wolverine, how they put titanium steel alloy in his body through a scientific experiment. He heals easy. I think Wolverine might be wild though too. I think, I'll fact check it, but Wolverine has got to be like a 3,000 years old. Wolverine's been around the block for a little bit. But he has unresolved issues, bro. Wolverine deadass needs therapy. Wolverine is moody. Wolverine is one day Wolverine is the nicest person you want to talk to, and then the next day he's moody, and you can't figure out why. You're like, what the hell is wrong with Wolverine? And I figured it out. He got some unresolved issues, bro, and he might need to go to like betterhelp.com or some shit, because sometimes it's like, damn, man, Wolverine is like low-key toxic. All right. What has I know about Wolverine? Wolverine doesn't like the leader right now of this current series, X-Men 97, Cyclops. Every time Cyclops is the leader. Every time Cyclops tell him to do something, Wolverine got to give him back talk. Every time Cyclops say something, Wolverine got a smart remark. Yo, who wants to hang around a guy like that? Think about that. Yo, if this was the hood, yo, Wolverine would have got clapped like 3 episodes ago, bro. I'd have took the shades off and just blast him, bro. Then, which leads me to another point. If you think about it now that I think about it, like I said, I used to think Wolverine's skills was super dope when I was younger. But guys, Wolverine might be the most useless, like, talented X-Men. That nigga can't even fly. He can't glow. He can't throw fire from his mind. He can't telepath. Besides those cool ass knives that come out of Wolverine palms, what is Wolverine good for? Wolverine might just be the most useless X-Men of all time. This is what I'm just telling you as I see it now as a 48-year-old man. And then not only that, to finish my Wolverine rant, he's in love with another man's wife. He's spicy, bro. You remember you know that famous meme on the internet? I know you seen it because it's been around like 1,000 years of Wolverine looking at a photo, and you know now with the memes we insert different celebrities or whatever photos in that meme. But the actual meme came from the old X-Men series when Wolverine was looking at a picture of Cyclops and Jean Grey. Yo, bro, how cringy is that, man? So as a grown ass man, I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Wolverine's moody. He's always bitching. He's always whining. He's always complaining. Wolverine is toxic. Sometimes you like him. Sometimes you hate him. Stay the hell away from Wolverine. He's not good. He's not good. All right. What is the number 2 thing I've gotten from X-Men? Watching it as a fully functional grown-ass man. This is what I got. Yo, bro. Cyclops is the man. When I was younger and I used to watch Cyclops, like I said, I was Team Wolverine all the way. I used to hate Cyclops, man. Cyclops is a party pooper, bro. Cyclops, why you gotta be so rigid, bro? Why you gotta be such a square? Why you gotta be like you are, bro? And spoiler alert, in the current series, it is a presumed that, you know, Professor X is dead. As you watch the series, you'll see what's going on, that he's dead. So Cyclops is now the de facto leader of the X-Men. Well, that's until Magneto showed up, but that's a whole nother story. So what do I think about Cyclops now as a grown-ass man? I totally understand him. I totally have empathy and compassion for Cyclops. Do you know how hard it is to be a leader, bro? Like, do you even understand? You have to deal with different personalities. You got to deal with Wolverine complaining ass he wants your wife. You got to deal with this guy. You got the Beast telling you something's gonna happen. You got to deal with Magneto coming back. You got to deal with your father figure passing away. Yo, Cyclops is going through a lot of shit, man. And you know what Cyclops is, in my humble opinion? Cyclops is like the superhero version of that saying that men suffer in silence. Because if you look at Cyclops, he doesn't bitch, he doesn't whine, he doesn't moan. Cyclops puts his head down and he moves along and he gets the job done without little people outside of his wife Jean Grey knowing how he really feels. He doesn't let the rest of the team know that he's burning up inside. He don't let the rest of the team know he had to give away his child and he ain't feeling that. He don't let the rest of the team know he not feeling Wolverine always partying after his chick. No, bro, he just stands on tiptoes and he does what he has to be. He do what has to be done. As a 48-year-old comic book nerd, I promise you, I understand Cyclops on so many levels at this point in life. It's quite scary. And the third thing to wrap up my X-Men 97 series, what I'm getting from it as a grown-ass man, and like I said, I repeat, if you are not watching this series, you have to go to Disney Plus and watch it. After you watch it, you can cancel Disney Plus. If you know someone with a Fire Stick and Disney Plus is on there, go buy that. I'm telling you, this is the greatest television series on TV right now. Here's my third thing that I got from watching the X-Men 97 series. Who do the mutants represent? This is what I was saying. I was like, the mutants. Who do they represent? Who do they represent right now, currently in 2024? So as we know, there's let me tell you about the mutants real quick. Okay, so if you don't know, I'm gonna put you on. The mutants have been persecuted. The mutants have been killed, beat, threatened, looked upon like the scum of the earth just because they're different. Okay, now I think that represented what the Black American was going through in the 60s when the X-Men first came out from Stan Lee and those animators at Marvel. That's what I think they represent. But let's go into 2024. Who do the mutants represent? Now, one might say that they're, mind you, little backdrop. They want their own country. They want their own land. No one likes them. No one that wants to hang out with them. Everyone sees them different. They want their own land. So the United Nations in this comic book setting said, okay, cool. We'll give you your own land. We'll give you a place known as Genosha. And the mutants said, all right, cool. Now, so I'm thinking like, damn, man, this is kind of similar to this. And maybe I'm reaching, but this is just my brain kind of going in 1,000 million places. Maybe this is just like how Israel felt when they were the Zionists and Hitler was just going all sort of crazy on them in concentration camps and putting them in ovens and just really just doing a real number on that people. And they were like, enough, we want our own land. We need our own place so we can stop being killed and persecuted from this maniac. So I was like, damn, man, I wonder if the mutants represent that, with Genosha being Israel. And then I was thinking, well, then again, maybe, just maybe the mutants represent Palestine right now. Now, we all know about the conflict between Israel and Palestine. We'll get into that a little later. But maybe the mutants represent Palestine. Like, no matter where we go, no matter what we do, you guys won't just leave us alone. You keep on bothering us. You keep on doing things against us in our race and our people. And enough is enough. So Magneto tries to have a good heart and tries to let shit slide. But he knows that when he's at his highest pissed off level of being pissed, when he can go full Omega level threat on society, Magneto just blacks out and he does all type of, I'm not going to spoil it too much if you haven't seen it, but this last episode of this past, Magneto had enough. He just shut shit down ASAP. So I was like, I wonder, could that represent Palestine and the Palestinians on how they feel? Now, let's get into that. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, I don't know if you care about things like this, but there have been a lot of protests at college campuses around the U.S. My own son school is being affected by the protests that's going around. Now, the vast majority, I want to say probably all of them, are pro-Palestine protests against what's going on, with the people in the Gaza Strip as it comes to the hands of the Israeli army. Now, a lot of people are saying that these pro-Palestine protests are anti-Semitic. I don't know if I would go that far. I think people see the kind of, and mind you, we have to always say this, that this current go around that Hamas did strike first. Like we have to always remember that, right? But then people are going to say, well, Hamas struck first for a reason. There are reasons why Hamas did what they did. Now, people feel, okay, that was literally 6 months ago. It's way too much. We need to pump the brakes and kind of stop all the killing.
Police at UCLA have increased security following a weekend of violence amid dueling protests over the war in Gaza. The rally started peacefully, but then shouting matches between pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli protesters turned to pushing and shoving. One woman was either pushed or fell to the ground, hit her head on the pavement. UCLA says it was dismayed that the protests became violent.
Protests to being something genuinely ugly and scary.
Bring them home!
Bring them home!
I don't think that we should back down from who we are. I think they would love us to be quiet and not show who we are. They'd like to silence us in a sense and not have us be proud of who we are. But they've tried to do that time and time again, and we won't let them anymore. I think I'd love to see a peaceful solution where they can protest, and I think protesting is totally fine and acceptable, but as long as you're within the time, place, and manner restrictions. But outside of that, I think what they're doing now is totally disruptive to the purpose of what higher education is. There's intimidation, there's insults, there's slurs, and I think that's frankly unacceptable.
Because number-wise, and I'm going to break down the number-wise, more Palestinian women, men, and children are being currently maimed, killed, and severely injured now with this current war going on than the Israeli people. Now, there have been some people in the media space that have said these things and have been called anti-Semitic anti-Jewish, Jewish-hating people, etc., etc., and they've been let go from their previous post or whatever platform they were at because people have said, you know, you're anti-Jewish, you need to get up out of here, i.e. Candace Owen. But I just want to give you the numbers of kind of what's going on now, because I really haven't spoke about this since I had to interview with my, with my pastor, Pastor David from my church. And by the way, if you have not seen that episode, I implore you, and I'll put it up, which episode it is, because I don't know offhand. Go watch that episode, man. It's a good history about the conflict between these two in this region that has been raging on for years. And if it's something that you're into, if you're a history buff, or if you don't know why the hell everyone's wilding out, go back and watch that episode. I'll put the link in the description below where you can just click on it and go straight to that episode. Now, okay, so the war began last year of October 7th, okay? I'm saying you're going to close your eyes. It's going to be October 7th, 2024, and this thing is going to be a year long, and hopefully I pray that it's not going to be a year long, okay? But the war began October 7th when Hamas fighters attacked communities across southern Israel and killed about 1,200 people, including families asleep in their beds. So you got to understand, there's blood on Hamas hands, okay? This just wasn't a military operation, because we have to be fair, but you have to see, you have to read and see both things and understand both sides. This wasn't like a military operation where they attacked the base, they attacked some warplanes. No, they killed also families while they were sleeping in their bed. So I say that to say that there's also citizens on the Israeli side that, were just minding their business, sleeping, waiting to wake up for the next day. And these people, unfortunately, did not wake up because of the Hamas attack, okay? At least 36 of the dead were children. So there's been dead Israeli children as well. We just want to, make that clear. And so after that, the shit hit the fan. Israel began bombing Gaza within hours. And currently 6 months later, the Gaza Strip is in ruins now. So let's fast forward to now. People are saying this is a little excessive. Some people feel like, okay, man, you proved your point. Let's stop the bombing. Let's stop all the warfare, because honestly, Israel is going to have an upper hand in all this. The Israel army is no joke, ladies and gentlemen. That army is not coming in there with rock sticks and stones, man. No, the Israeli army is well funded, and take a guess who funds them. Let's take a guess. Okay, cool. So now, let's get into some numbers. I've been watching the Pat David podcast, and I'm stealing something from him because he seems to be like a real numbers guy. And I want to just start giving you numbers, because sometimes I come in here, I don't want to do that. I want to give you the numbers to let you know what's going on. Okay, so estimated number of children killed in the Gaza Strip has been 13,000 children. That is the estimated number. Hopefully, this is from the Washington Post, so hopefully these numbers are factual. I'm just not up here giving you misinformation. But according to the Washington Post, 13,000 is the estimated number of children killed in the Gaza Strip. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to imagine, I'm not taking sides, but I'm just trying to paint a picture for you. Imagine there was 13,000 American children killed by the enemy's bomb fire, drone attacks. Just imagine that, okay? 13,000 American children. So 13,000 children, no matter if they're American or they're Palestinian or if they're Israel. That's nothing to sneeze at, okay? 19,000 children is the estimated number that has been orphaned because they have no adult to care for them, okay? 10, that is the average number of children per day who have lost one limb. So 10 children per day in the Gaza Strip has been maimed and lost a limb. More than 34,000 Palestinians who have been killed. The majority are women and children. Now,
تم استهداف بيت. هذا البيت يعني يخطب فيه أسرة كاملة. هذه الأسرة مكونة من أب وأم وثلاثة أطفال. عند الاستهداف يعني فوجئنا أنه الأسرة بأكملها استشهدت، الأب والأم وثلاثة أطفال. وصلت طواقم الدفاع المدني والإسعاف إلى المكان، وتم انتشال هذه الأشلاء وهؤلاء الشهداء وتم نقلهم إلى المستشفى.
فجأة على الساعة 1:30 واحنا نايمين سمعنا صوت قصف، كله قام يصوت وبعيط وبيجري وسمعنا صوت أصوات. طلعنا نشوف ايش فيه. تعرضوا جيراننا هنا لقصف، ومش المرة الأولى هذه، قبل هيك تعرضوا لقصف ونجوا بأعجوبة. يمكن هذا النزوح كان الرابع والخامس إلهم، وقدر الله ما شاء فعل. يعني تعرضوا لقصف وجينا طلعنا جثث وشهداء، أطفال، أشلاء مقطعين. مش عارف يعني ايش الواحد بده يحكي وايش بده يقول. مأساة وحزن.
Why are they protesting? What do they want? Okay. The students are demanding that their schools, many with massive endowments financially, divest from Israel. Divestment means to sell off stock in Israeli companies or to otherwise drop financial ties. Student activists say that the companies doing business in Israel or with Israeli organizations are complicit in the ongoing war in Gaza, as are colleges investing in those companies. University endowment funds, everything from research lab to scholarship funds, mostly using returns from millions and billions of dollars investment. Okay, so now you know that is the reason why the students have been protesting, and it seems to be an effort of movement that's starting. You know how social media is. You can start something on Wednesday, and the next thing you know, by Friday, you got a whole movement. So what I just read you is the reason why these protests are popping up through campuses all over America. Now, here's the thing. I seen this one video, and I thought it wasn't cool. It was a Jewish brother, and the Jewish brother was trying to get into class. And the Jewish brother was like, I'm not being aggressive, man. I just want to get into school, bro. Now, the Jewish brother's probably got some bread. His parents are probably paying full tuition. And he's just like, I pay tuition to go to the school, bro. I'm just trying to go to class. The Jewish brother will go to the left. The protesters will go to the left. The Jewish brother will go to the right, and the protesters will go to the right. The protesters were blocking this young man from trying to go to class. Now, to me, that's just a little bit excessive. This young man's just trying to get education. You guys are also in the school, and you guys are also getting education. If you have a problem with the funding of certain things at your said university because it seems to be coming from where you think is not a good place, then guys, maybe you should drop out of that college, man. I mean, and listen, I'm all for peaceful protests, and I understand. And honestly speaking, like I said, I never pick a side on these things, but I do feel like the Palestinian and Gaza Strip is being excessively bombed and excessively affected. I mean, even though my pastor told me the history and how, you know, the Palestinian people and you know, Israel and the chosen land and all that, yeah, bro, I get it. But I don't want to be fake about it. I really do feel like it's excessive at this point. I really do. But however, you can't stop other Jewish brothers and sisters from obtaining class and kind of blocking them, because it makes your protest and it makes your plight looks crazy. And they're going to be like, oh, you see, those damn Muslim again, they're doing things, you know, and you know, and as a Black American, trust me, I understand, I do, but I don't think we need to be stopping students who just want to get to class. Like I said, this thing is even affecting my own kids. Right now, my boy got to be doing remote learning for the next 2 weeks because of these pro-Palestine protesters. As always, I'm going to stay on top of this, and if it's something you care about, I'm going to talk about it. Listen, life is more than just Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, okay? There's a lot more going in the world besides trivial rap beef. And if you think this is the podcast where you're going to come to and I'm going to talk about trivial rap beef, well, then you come to the right place, because I want to talk about that real quick. So, Kendrick just released Euphoria, right? He just released his diss. Mind you, it took like 1,000 years for him to come back. This is my 5-second take on it before I get into who am I talking about next. What am I talking about next? I'm going to talk about my Knicks next. But I just want to get into this rap beef for 5 seconds. Yo, I'm sorry, man. I didn't like it. I didn't like it, man. Yo, you took 2 weeks for that. And here's the thing. This is just me. Drake got bars, man. He just do. Listen, I understand he's pop. I understand the ladies love him. But, bro, the ladies love LL Cool J too. And if you put him in a rap beef, he was going to slaughter you. So, to me, just my opinion, Drake is the new version of LL Cool J. Yeah, bro, he can get in your chick pants. But, yo, bro, he's nothing to play with when it comes to those bars. I like Kendrick. I do. Sometimes he sounds a little too jazzy for me. Kendrick said on Euphoria that there's a lot of West Coast hate, and I just like, that's lies. I mean, come on, man. This ain't the 90s, bro. I mean, you know, everyone likes good music is good music. I just didn't think that it was worth a 2-week waiting period to drop that. Now, mind you, everyone loves it. You know, a lot of people saying this, a lot of people saying it's fire. However, though, I will give Kendrick this. So I was watching the NBA the other day, and they played Euphoria while they was going to the break on Inside the NBA. So, I mean, if you got to, you know, give the man kudos for that, like, damn, man, they playing that. When's the last time that, come on, Inside the NBA, they playing a rap beef song? I mean, so, you know, I give them that. But, however, if you had to ask me, who's winning in this current rap beef, bro? Honestly, man, it's taking 20 people against one light-skinned guy. One light-skinned guy. Who the ladies love? Yo, man, I got Drake up, man. I do, man. Drake is 2-0 right now. Drake has never lost a rap beef, bro. And that's just my opinion. Let's move on to the Knicks. Now, today, I'm recording this on a Thursday. I was going to record on a Wednesday because I was like, yo, the Knicks game is on Tuesday, and I was going to be on one. I was going to be in such a great mood, and I really was. So I told you at the top of the show, I hung out with some bros, you know, a couple of days ago, and it happened to be when the Knicks game was, and that, like I said, that was this past Tuesday. And when I left the place we went and broke bread with, it was halftime, you know. So that means it was around 8 o'clock. Hey, man, bro, I had to get home, bro. I don't stay out for the Bronx, baby. I try to stay out past 8 p.m., right? The Knicks had a comfortable lead, ladies and gentlemen. Jalen Brunson was balling. And then I get home, and now I'm watching it on my phone. And the Knicks got a nice little lead. And no matter what Philadelphia is throwing at them, the Knicks is sustaining the blow, and the Knicks is coming up with clutch baskets, and it's looking good. And the camera pans to all the celebrities, the Fat Joes and Spike Lees and the you know, the one dude that played in that one movie, whoever. Tracy Morgan is there. Everybody's there. Yo, bro, it's like 20. Now it's the fourth quarter. It's like 28 seconds, literally 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter. New York Knicks got this in the bag. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks lost the game in overtime. Yo, we took a super L. I don't understand. And mind you, this is when Joel Embiid, who's banned from the Empire State Building, by the way, yo, Embiid, don't ever come to New York, bro, and try to get into that building. You're banned, my guy. This is after he was not having, I mean, he had a triple-double, but bro had like 9-10 turnovers that game, so he wasn't playing well. But Tyree Maxey from the Philadelphia 76ers, I don't know if he went into the locker room. I don't know if Reggie Miller was there and he gave that young man some inspiration, but I know he did his 1995 best impersonation of Reggie Miller, and he came out and he was hitting threes all over the place. He hit so many threes that he tied the game.
Swing. McBride! Oh, yeah! Franchise. And now they're just trying to get to the finish line and wrap up this series. Maxey floats it up and in, plus the foul. Toe was on the line, 2-pointer, and the Sixers still very much alive.
How about this shot? The degree of difficulty. I mean, you got Mitchell Robinson there in your face, kind of leans in, able to concentrate, the strength to still get the ball up. And no, that's a three right there.
That's a three.
That's a three.
So wow. The initial call, 2-point game, 25 seconds left. There's a 1 second difference, shot clock to game clock. Knicks not looking to shoot it, they don't have to. They're up by 2. Philly has to make a decision, and they foul hard. Knicks up by 3. 10 seconds left in game 5. Maxey fires! He's got it! Tie game! 8.1 to play. 41 for Maxey. 3 seconds left. Brunson, 2 seconds. Brunson at the horn. It's blocked. Overtime at the Garden.
And so the Knicks went into overtime, and the Knicks lost the game. And now, as of tonight, as I'm recording this, we play. We play tonight. Now, here's the thing. If you watch this podcast, you know I'm up and down with the Knicks. Sometimes I love them, sometimes I hate them. I told you I will no longer make a prediction, and I have been solid on that. I haven't made a prediction. But here's the thing. I'm not still going to make a prediction. I'm not going to jump out the window. I'm not going to lose my cool about it because I have a funny feeling that this team will be okay. What I like about this team has grit. This team has heart. This team doesn't really fold under pressure, meaning that they won't let a setback like this get to them. To me, this team is mentally tough. I haven't said that about a Knicks team in a very, very long time. We took a L. We had a setback. Hey, man, listen, they're playing against other NBA players who are highly skilled and could do things like Tyrese Maxey did. These things happen. However, in my heart, not making a prediction, just telling you how I feel. In my heart, I feel like this will not be the worst thing in the world. Philly is a good team. They had to come into the Garden. We took one in Philly. They had to take one in New York. People have been saying this thing is going to go 6 or 7, so it seems like it's right on course. If we could take one tonight, fine. I'll try to do an updated video from the morning after if we do. But if it goes to Game 7, then that's where we want it, and Game 7 will be in the Garden. So, in my opinion, I'm going to be very optimistic. It is still orange and blue skies, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you, the Knicks will get this done. Don't even worry about it. The Knicks will get this done. Now, speaking of New York City, okay, let me take a drink, by the way, from my Ninja Turtle. Because I'm going to be long-winded on this one, talking about this guy. Okay. Eric Adams is the mayor of New York City. I like to call him E-Money. He was on Drink Champs. Understand what I'm telling you. The mayor of New York City was on Drink Champs. And that's okay, because politicians go to the Breakfast Club. Politicians, no matter what color, they go to what the culturally hip place to be, which is totally cool. Eric Adams went on Drink Champs. They smoke on Drink Champs, which is nothing wrong with that. They're grown-ass men. They drink. It's called Drink Champs for a reason. They take shots. Eric Adams thought it would be, memorial. I probably screwed that word up. It's okay. To pull up to a place like Drink Champs. Nori is legit interviewing the mayor of New York wearing a do-rag. Shout out to Nori. That's some real gangster shit. Where is Drink Champs filmed at? Where is the podcast located at? In Miami, in South Beach. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, our mayor likes a good time. Our mayor will never turn down a party. There's not a place this man has not been. E-Money likes to get around, baby. E-Money likes to go where the itches are at. That's just what he do, baby. E-Money bags, bro. And he's going to have security with him, and he's going to be armed. He's going to have no ties. He's going to have that little vegan wristband he wears. E-Money's in these streets. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that the mayor of New York City parties too goddamn much. Remember that old website called 7 Days and 7 Nights? That's what they call E-Money, Mr. Eric Adams. They call him Mr. 7 Days and 7 Nights. He parties too much for me. He's always in the hot spots. Bro, the city is falling down, my G. I don't want you to party. I want you to fix this shit. I really do. I want you to fix it. Now, a lot of people are leaving New York City, and I come in here and I tell you about my thoughts and my feelings about the city that I was born and raised and I love. I'm New York to the core. I couldn't fight it. I can speak very educated and sound proper, but Sean, sometimes when you gotta talk that New York talk, bro, I could talk it. You heard? It comes out. I'm New York to the core, but as I'm getting older, New York might not be it for me, and I don't seem to be the only one feeling that because a lot of people have been feeling that in the last years. Now, as of this year, New York population shrinks another 78,000. My people, you hear what I just said? Another 78,000 people have left New York City. In 2022, it lost more than 126,000 people. So from April 2020 to July 2023, this city has lost over 500,000 residents. That's more than 6% of its population. Ladies and gentlemen, where the hell are all these New Yorkers going? I can tell you where they're going. They're going to Florida, just like the mayor. Yo, it's warm year round, bro. I'm trying to get to Florida, my guy. I might be the only black person who practices white flight. Trying to get the hell out of here, bro. New York is bad, but I digress. Yo, so why are people leaving? There's a couple of reasons why people are leaving New York. And I just want to highlight, three of them real quick, Okay, crime. People are saying I just told you the numbers, are leaving New York City because of the crime. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter where you look, on YouTube, on IG, on TikTok, New York seems to be freaking out of control. New York City seems to be like, bro, you shouldn't even leave the house. Like, if you have a stay-at-home job, stay your ass at home. Do not go in these streets. But if we're being honest and we're being fair about it, I grew up in the 80s and I grew up in the 90s. And ladies and gentlemen, the crime is not as bad as it was in those particular eras. It's just not. The homicide rates are nowhere near what it was in the 80s and 90s. It's just not. Is there an uptick in homicides from the previous year when Bloomberg or someone like Giuliani was the mayor? Yeah. But is it out of control like 80s and 90s? Shit, even 70s New York? Not
in
really.
or around New York City, the talk of the town often is about crime, in part because the media, particularly local media, covers some of the horrific instances we've had on the subway and elsewhere, a lot of shootings as well. So Bloomberg took a deep look into whether, in fact, that's justified by the numbers. It's something called a big take on the Bloomberg, which is really worth reading. And to bring it to us, at least to introduce us to it, we welcome now Shelley Banjo. She's Bloomberg New York Bureau Chief. Shelley, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
A really interesting piece because it really does what Bloomberg does. Say, okay, a lot of people are talking about it. What do the numbers show? What do the numbers show?
Right. So that's where we started from. What does the data actually show here? And, the data confirms the truth, which is that, crime has gone up during the pandemic across the board, homicides, assaults, that kind of thing. But that the fear and the perception of crime far outstrips and outweighs how much the actual crime numbers have gone up.
Well, particularly if you look historically.
Social media could play a large factor in that, because when crime happens and you can get it on your phone in nanoseconds, everything is hyperized. Everything is like, oh my God, everything is such an urgency. However, though, just because the murder rate is not as high as it was in those different eras, there's no doubt there's a energy, there's a vibe in the city where people's heads are on the swivels. Because when you do go to social media and things like that, you see things like women getting punched randomly in the face by a stranger. You see people getting pushed onto subway tracks. You see shoplifting going on at an alarming rate, to the point where the businesses are shutting down their business because they can't sustain such a financial loss. And mind you, in the businesses that are open, they have everything locked up. Guys, I know it's so common, but you really don't think about it. But just think about what I'm about to say. You go into these stores for the conveniency of going in, picking out what you need, going to the register, and paying for it. Guys, every time you go into these stores now, if it's deodorant, if it's laundry detergent, if it's any essential need, they're all under lock and key. You have to press a button, and someone has to come into the aisle. And mind you, they're short staffed, so probably going to take them like a good 5, 6, 7 minutes for them to come to the aisle to open up what you need, and you can go to the register and pay for that shit. It's no longer a convenience. Ladies and gentlemen, it's honestly become an inconvenience, So the shoplifting is out of control. Now, here's the thing. And you also have the migrants coming in. Now, people like to blame things on migrants, sometimes fairly, sometimes unfairly. But without a shadow of a doubt, I was talking to this guy on my bus the other day, and he said he's been out of work for a minute. I'm not sure how true this is. I'm just telling you the story. He said he works construction, and he's been out of work for a little bit because they are hiring migrants labor at a cheaper rate than they would a guy like him. And it's been hard for him. And the day I seen him, because I got a big mouth, I talk to the passengers. They friendly with me, I'm friendly with y'all, brother. Chop it up. He said today was his first day back at work, construction in 2 years because of the situation. So there's that. Some people are growing some animosity towards the migrants because they feel like you guys just got here. You're giving everything you're being given everything to help you kind of prosper when we've been here for years and we can't even, get anything or any jobs or so on and so forth. So that seems to be an issue with New Yorkers. One of the reasons why they're leaving. Okay, the second reason why people are leaving in droves is the politics and the policies. Listen, it's cool and fashionable to throw everything on Eric Adams, and sometimes fairly. But if we're gonna be honest with it, yo, bro, he inherited a bunch of bullshit from Bill de Blasio. Bill de Blasio, in my humble opinion, I'm not a political science. I just talk shit in front of a phone occasionally. But in my opinion, Bill de Blasio destroyed New York City. And honestly speaking, you would have to go get the most Republican to flip that whole situation. But we voted Democrat again. Well, you guys voted for a Democrat again because he's a brother. And Eric, and all jokes aside, Eric Adams is smooth and he's a former cop. And he says certain things that we like, yo, I can understand why people thought they were voting for the right Democrat. But so far, no good. But he did inherit a mess from his predecessor, okay? If we're being fair. Now, it seems like the city's more focused on convicting Donald Trump than fixing the city's major issues. Okay, so we just spoke about the influx of migrants, guys. Whether we like it or not, it's reshaping the city. It just is. The moral of the city is low. Like I told you, the camaraderie sucks. Okay, real New Yorkers are growing a resentment because of the migrants. We just spoke about that. Okay, what else is going on? The bail reform is horrible, guys. Bail reform is a joke. Bail reform is one of the things that de Blasio put into play, and the revolving door of New York City's legal system, because we can't do certain things, because if you do certain things, people are going to deem it to be racist. It's out of control. But if we were being fair, to look at it from both sides, but if we were being fair, in the beginning, people wanted to reverse it so 360 that now it's out of control. Guys, most of these men that are coming up to these women, punching them in the face, slapping them in the face, throwing people on subways, most of these people have been in and out of the system. Their jackets from assault to robberies, from this and that. The list goes on. And a lot of these are a revolving door. Well, I don't know if this is being done because they're making it a racial component. I don't know if it's being done because they just don't have the space to hold these people. But a lot of the crime are being committed by people who just commit crime, and they're in and out like a robbery as far as being detained when caught. So a lot of people like to blame the cops. I say it starts with the DA office, because the cops can catch them, the cops can lock them up. The DA and the legal system are supposed to keep them there, and they don't, and so they're back on the streets to start menace. A lot of residents are not signing up for that shit. A lot of us. And to add insult to injury, guys, New York State as a whole makes it literally impossible for a law-abiding citizen like you and myself to carry a firearm. Now, listen, firearms aren't for everyone, and I'm not Billy Badass. I'm not a cowboy. If gun violence was not an issue or not a thing, the world would be a much better place for it. But the thing is that it is a thing, and it is an issue, and that citizens in the state of New York, especially New York City, have a hard time getting their proper concealed carry license. Now, even though there was a law that came down, I want to say now it's been like a year and a half, that said no, that infringes on the citizens of New York City rights to carry, it infringes on their 2A rights. Kathy Hochul made it virtually impossible for the citizens of New York to carry a firearm. But here's the thing. Criminals know that. Criminals aren't dumb. Just because you commit a crime doesn't mean you're stupid. And they know that the majority of the time, if you run up on someone that is not also a criminal or a gangster, and you want to put the heat on a person. One time at my job, I seen 2 Spanish dudes rob the vegetable man. And they know goddamn well the vegetable man ain't packing, but they robbed them. Criminals aren't dumb. They know what they know.
I don't think so. You know why? Because look at it like this. North Carolina, all them places, you can have guns, right? So people think twice about robbing a liquor store because that place is armed. New York, nobody really have guns. So they will try you. If you have a gun here, it's like gold.
The majority of the citizens don't have the right to pack firearms. Not only do they not have the right, they're not going to pack it because they're not criminals. They don't want to go to jail. Criminals, they don't give a shit. And the last thing that I'm going to highlight, because honestly speaking, I can list 30,000 things. But this is the podcast where I try to make it an hour or less. But the last thing why people are living New York is because of the cost of living. Yo, the cost of living in New York City is, I mean, let me read you some stats about the cost of living in New York City. Okay, so a single adult, now understand what I'm trying to tell you. A single adult needs to make more than $138,000 or an hourly wage of $66 an hour to live comfortably, while a family of four needs more than $318,000 to live comfortably in New York City. Ladies and gentlemen, that is outrageous. That is outrageous. Monthly rent, right, in an expensive area in New York can cost you between $49,000 to $5,000 a month, right? Monthly rent in a normal neighborhood, let's just say you're just an average Joe Schmo. You're just a regular dude who works at the bank or something, right? You're not poor, but you're not rich. That's gonna cost you about $3,500 because I promise you, you're not gonna want to live in the hood. You're not. And utilities with gas and all that stuff will be like $172. And New York City is the most expensive city in North America. Out of 36 cities, it is number one. New York City is the most expensive city in the world. A family of four estimated monthly cost is $8,323. Single person monthly estimated cost is about $5,400. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to go any further. Living in New York City is super expensive. The rents are comparable to mortgages. And why would you want to pay that? Listen, rich people are going to stay in New York City. Rich people can afford it. Poor people are going to stay in New York City because they're going to get, even though they complain about the migrants, but let's keep it real. Poor people are going to stay in New York City because they're going to either get welfare or help with the rent when they can on one-shot deals and, everything, Section 8. So they have programs in place too to help them. But what about those people in the middle? People like you, people like me. Who helps us? When we get priced out, where are we going to go? And then the places that we think used to be, because the further up, let's just take the Bronx, for example. The further up north you went in the Bronx, it was deemed safe. But now, if the rents are so high, and then you're supposed to be able to pay. I remember back in the day, you're supposed to be able to pay your rent with one paycheck. But how about if it takes now 2.5 paychecks to pay rent? What sort of life are you going to live? So people like that are going to figure a way to get the hell out of New York City. And that's why there's such a mass exodus of residents, especially middle-class people, say, you know what? Nah, man. So you telling me this is how much it's going to cost to just be comfortable? And it's going to snow? And it's going to be cold 7 months out of the 12? Hell no. I want no parts of it. And this is unfortunately why people are leaving the city of New York. Listen, I love New York City. I'm a New Yorker to core. But, to be honest with you guys, sometimes I ask myself, how long can I live here? Like, I'm almost in my 50s, bro. How long can I do this for? Like, how do I feel about my home state as a middle-aged man with a 6-year-old, Most people my age already got grandkids. I don't. I legit have the ages of two 20-year-olds, a 16-year-old, and a 6-year-old. Like, how long can I sustain that? Is this a place where I want my 6-year-old to grow up? If it's trending the way it's currently trending, have I outgrown this place? Is it made for me in this age, the way my politics and the way my beliefs are set up? Is New York City for me? Yo, the answer is fuck no. Hell no. New York City is not for your boy, man. It's not. And I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to figure this out. Me and my friends got a motto in my other chat. Well, no matter what life throw at you, you're going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. I promise you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, oh, by the way, before we get out of here, make sure you hit that like button. I should have said it in the beginning, but I was just so ready to talk my crap. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe thing if you haven't subscribed. If you like the pod, share it, man. Listen, we're trying to grow these numbers. We're in a little stagnant place right here. I don't know what the hell's going on. But listen, to all 40 of you guys who watch my show, I got a consistent 40, bro, which is, I'm not even mad at it, man. For all of you guys who always support me, who always watch my show, and, Always showing me love, man. I thank you guys. I really do. So listen, today's Thursday. Don't worry about it. Even though New York City is going down the tubes, the New York Knicks will win this series and make it to the second round. Is that a prediction? No. That's just a gut feeling. I think we're going to be okay. The Yankees are winning. Don't worry about it. It's still blue and orange skies, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, you knuckleheads, you know what I want you to do. I want you to go out there. I want you to love yourself. I want you to love others. But most importantly, I want you to love God. So on behalf of me, myself, and all these dudes right here, this is Don't Kill the Messenger podcast, episode number 32. And as always, my good people, your boy will see you for 33. Let's go Knicks.